Welcome back. So now we will be creating a cute bamboo planter which is kept on some books. So I have just made this little pot and I'm sketching out some vertical lines to represent our bamboo and just making some few leaves. So let us have a little closer look. I'm mixing a little light pink color for the planter. You can use any color of your choice. I just love this little light pink color and it gives a very nice ceramic feel to our planter. So I'm just applying this pink color on the entire planter. Now I'm taking a darker shade of pink and adding highlights on one side of the planter. I'm just blending this color and we have a beautiful planter with some light and dark areas. Now moving on to the bamboo, I have taken diluted sap green and I'm creating these little bamboo sticks. So covering the entire length of the bamboo with this sap green color. Now we will add tiny leaves with a little darker green and we will place it on these bamboo sticks. So we have these pretty leaves on our bamboo sticks. Now moving on to the books, I am taking some burnt sienna and coloring the border of the books. You can use any colors of your choice. So I'm just taking a mix of burnt sienna, yellow and blue, and I will be creating these borders. Now I'm taking some dark shade of the same color and creating the outline of our books. Now we will take some dark green. I'm taking the undersea green and I will create the highlights of our bamboo plant. So I'm sketching the outline of the stems with this dark green color and also I will add few leaves with this dark color so that our plant looks fuller and beautiful. Now we'll create certain lines on our planter with this white gel pen. You can also use white watercolor or gouache and create these subtle lines on our planter. You see, it is giving such a beautiful touch. And now let us paint the remaining books. You can use any colors of your choice. So I am creating the books with blue and brown color. So first I'm giving a light wash and then we will create the outline of the books. If you wish, you can even write the name on this border. If you love reading, feel free to depict your favorite books and cherish them in your artwork. I hope you're enjoying creating these beautiful planters and adding to your collection of artwork. So we are done with our cute little bamboo planter kept on these books. Let us explore Monstera plant in our next section. See you there. Welcome back. So in this section, we will create a beautiful Monstera plant. So let us see how we can sketch the leaf of this Monstera plant. So I have created a simple leaf and divided it into two parts. Then on each part I am creating multiple lines which look like the veins, but actually in the Monstera plant the leaves are cut from these edges. So in the same leaf we have different cut sections. So let us depict the same leaf in our planter. So I'm creating a rough structure for our planter. Now we will add the multiple leaves to this planter. So again I have created a simple leaf and divided into two. And now I'm creating the different sections of the leaf. You can practice this a couple of times in your rough paper and then create in your project. So we will rub the extra lines so that we have the different split sections of the leaf. So feel free to add as many leaves as you want. I have uploaded this sketch of our project in the resources section. So feel free to use the same sketch or you can create your own design for the planters. One thing you can note here is I have created the larger leaves at the bottom of the plant and the smaller ones are at the top. So the fresh or the young leaves are always at the top of the tree or the plant. So that you should keep in mind when you create the sketch. So I'll just remove some of the extra lines so that we do not have a lot of pencil marks on our painting. Now we'll take a very light green. So I'm mixing some sap green and lemon yellow and creating this very light green and giving a base coat to our leaves. So as you can see, I'm leaving some spaces, some white spaces in between, so that will depict the cut on the leaves. So we'll give this beautiful light base coat to all the leaves. So you can paint along with me or you can watch the video first and then you can paint on your creation. Painting these little plants and leaves is such a therapeutic process. I hope you have a good time, good relaxing and creative time while painting these. Now let us take a little darker shade of green. So I'm taking sap green and creating this contouring or outline for our leaves. So this will give a definite shape to our leaves. So you can see our leaves are looking so pretty and lively with this combination of dark and light shade. Along with adding the outlines with this dark color, we will also highlight the stems. Adding a few more stems at the bottom to depict the stems of the leaves which are at the top. Now moving on to the planter, I will take plain water in my brush and wet the surface of the planter. And now I am taking some indigo color and giving a very light coat to our planter. I will add little dark shade to the sides. So I'm mixing a little Payne's grey to our indigo to get a slightly darker shade and applying it on the sides of the planter to get a beautiful highlighted effect. Now I will again take some sap green and again I will go over the outline of our leaves. So doing the outline again give a nice highlight to our leaves and we can see them becoming more prominent. I'm also adding little dark shade inside the leaf so we get a shaded effect. Now going back to the planter, I will take the indigo color again and give a little coat to our planter. So I'm ensuring that our left side of the planter is darker than the right side and we have a little shadow effect on the left. This technique is called glazing, where we are again reiterating the layers of the planter. Now I'm taking some white gel pen and highlighting the gaps in the leaf, which are like the holes or the spaces. You can even use white watercolor or gouache. So I'm creating some tiny dots for the eyes using Payne's gray. You can even use black color and also giving little highlight to the hair. Adding a little dark indigo on the bottom, this will depict the shadow of the planter in the bottom area. The white is looking less prominent, so I'm using some white gouache to highlight the eyes and the hair and the gaps between the leaves. So this will give a beautiful finish to our lovely planter. So we are done creating this beautiful monstera plant in this cute little planter. I hope you enjoyed creating it. I would love to see your projects. See you in the next section. Welcome back. So in this section we are going to paint a watering can with pretty lavenders in it. So for the can I am taking some diluted Payne's gray. So I am giving a light wash with this Payne's gray to the entire can. So I'm taking some more Payne's gray for the second layer and adding it on the corners and giving a little more highlight to the can, leaving some white spaces in between. So these white spaces will give a reflection of light. Also painting the handle with the same Payne's gray, and we will use the same color for the nozzle. Blending the colors a little with my empty brush, and now I'm taking some little concentrated Payne's gray and giving the outline of the watering can and also painting the nozzle of the can. Picking some more dark Payne's gray and building upon the layers of the can. So with this technique we are working on the layers and getting the effect of light and reflection and shadows. Now again I am taking concentrated Payne's gray and creating the outline of the can. So this time we will create the outline for the entire can along with the handle and the nozzle. So you can see the versatility of one single color. We can achieve so many different tonal values or so many different shades by using only one color and varying the concentration of the same. Now let us repeat the same process for the last layer of our watering can. So again I am taking some concentrated Payne's gray and giving the outline to the can. And I've taken some color. I do not have a lot of water on my brush. So this is called the dry brush technique. I'm just using the paint as it is without any water and creating some texture on the can. I'm quite happy with the way our can has turned out, with portions which are reflecting the light and certain dark areas. So it is looking quite nice. Now moving on to the lavender, I have taken some imperial purple. So I have taken a diluted version of it and I'm creating this dot like pattern. You can take any purple or violet color that you have. So this is the shade that I'm using. Now we will add little darker lavender color dots. So we will have a beautiful combination of dark and light lavender. Now I'm taking some olive green and creating the stems and tiny little leaves for our lavender. Taking a little white color to add more highlights to our watering can. So this is optional. You can leave it as it is, or if you want you can add some highlights. And just adding some more dark shades of purple color to give a fuller look to our lavender. Let me just show you how we created the lavender again. So we did this simple dot like pattern with the combination of dark and light purple color to get this beautiful lavender effect. I hope you enjoyed creating this easy peasy watering can full of lavender. See you in the next section. Welcome back. So in this section we will paint some lovely forget me nots which are kept in this beautiful planter. To start with, I am just applying a layer of plain water on our planter. Next I am taking some yellow ochre and applying a light coat of yellow ochre on the entire pot. So I am applying this light yellow color on the entire pot and covering it from all sides. Now I am taking some concentrated yellow ochre and applying it on the corners or the sides of the planter and gently bringing it towards the center, but I am not covering the entire pot. As you can see, I am just gently pulling in the color to get a beautiful shaded effect on our planter. Now moving on to the books, I am taking some burnt sienna and applying on the borders of our book. You can use any colors of your choice for painting the borders of these books. You can repeat the colors or use different colors for these different books. Also giving a little outline to these borders, so that gives a nice finishing touch to our books.